broadcasting across the U.S. and around the world. Good morning, radio friends. This is Vern Sherd, and welcome to the Retro Oldies Brunch. This month, we have a special music feature called Cloudy with a Chance of Rhythm, as our music theme is all about the weather. We'll feature sunshine, rainy days, storms, and even a couple of hurricanes. A special thanks to Michelle from Timonium, Maryland, for submitting this topic. Our showcase will feature anecdotes about the songs and artists. We'll have our three-of-a-kind music trivia segment. We'll have a forgotten hit from our radio vault related to this month's theme. And we'll also have a long-distance dedication from one of our listeners. On this month's showcase, we'll feature 4 acts that are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, including a song by a Hall of Fame artist in which the first 2 song verses are actually sung by backup singers. We'll lead off our weather showcase with some sunshine tunes. This song also happened to lead off the 1967 Broadway musical Hair, and in 1969 a popular vocal group covered it and took it to number 1 for 6 weeks, making it their biggest hit. This is Aquarius, Let the Sunshine In by the Fifth Dimension. We're up to the song by a former child prodigy who became a music pioneer who helped shape contemporary R&B. This song is a bit unusual in that the artist doesn't appear until the 3rd verse. Backup singers Jim Gilstrap and Lanny Groves provide vocals for the first 2 song verses. This song was one of his 10 number 1s in the pop charts, 8 as a solo act, 1 as a duet with Paul McCartney, and 1 as part of the benefit ensemble called USA for Africa with We Are the World. Here's Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Stevie Wonder and You Are the Sunshine of My Life. Welcome back to the Retro Oldies Brunch. I'm Vern Sherd, and our special music feature is all about the weather. Rain is the subject of our next block, and we have some Motown royalty singing about the sadness one feels when their girl moves on and finds someone else. Day in, day out, my tear-stained face, pressed against my window pane. My eyes search the skies, desperately, for rain. From 1968, here are Rock and Roll Hall of Famers The Temptations and I Wish It Would Rain. And now it's time for a very emotional long-distance dedication. We got an email from James from Maryland. Dear Vern, I'm submitting this email in hopes that you read my special dedication. My name is James, I live in Baltimore, Maryland, and here is my story. I grew up in a strict household because my parents wanted to raise me to become a responsible person who earned things in life, not have things handed to him. During my early teen years, I had weekly chores I had to do before I was able to go out on weekends with my friends and spend my allowance. I grew bitter towards my dad because my friends didn't have to do any chores and were still given a spending allowance by their parents. I always felt that I was being punished by having to do chores and help out my dad with home improvement projects. I eventually got older, graduated high school and college, and entered the working world. It took me many years before I realized that all those years of doing chores and helping my dad helped strengthen my work ethic and toughen me up to deal with life. Unfortunately, my dad's life was cut short by a fatal heart attack before I could thank him and tell him how much I loved him for helping prepare me for life. It's been over 10 years since I lost my dad, and I struggle with myself every day about how I should have swallowed my pride and told him that I loved him. I would like to dedicate a song to the memory of my dad, Henry, with this message. Quote, Dad, I'm sorry for being so angry with you. I should have trusted you enough to know that you were just helping to shape my life. I wanted to thank you for instilling values into me that I didn't recognize at the time. And I wanted to tell you that I love you. End quote. Vern, I would like you to please play The Living Years by Mike and the Mechanics. It won't remove the guilt I feel for not telling my dad my feelings in person, but it will help me say now what I didn't say then. Sincerely, James. Wow, James, thank you so much for sharing your personal story about your dad with me and the listeners. I hope it inspires others to tell their dads their feelings before it's too late. James, as promised, here is your long-distance dedication. That was Gordon Lightfoot, and that concludes this week's Retro Oldies Brunch weather-themed special music feature, Cloudy with a Chance of Rhythm. If you haven't already done so, be sure to connect with DJ Greyhound Radio on LinkedIn for our monthly schedule and subscribe to our YouTube channel for showcase clips. Next month, we'll return to our regular showcase of The Year That Was. Until next time, radio friends, this is Vern Sherd saying, don't be afraid to aim high with your goals. Even if you come up short, you'll still end up at a better place. You're listening to DJ Greyhound Radio, playing the hits of the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s.